All right, welcome back to the Transparent Barrels production of Energy Boom 101. We are back from the studios of the Transparent Barrel, high above Boom U in the Buchanan Street balcony. This is dispatch from the patch 5, great number 5, and we're going to complete the article that I was reading in dispatch from the patch 4, which is that the USA is going to become the world's leading energy producer. You know, crazy stuff. We got interrupted at that last one. No big deal. That happens. Crazy stuff happens in life. So we're going to do another shoot with another shot of Boom U in the background, absorbing this energy influence as it shifts, as this global shift occurs. Boom U, as you see it in the background, will be one of the major benefactors. And which is why we're so dang lucky to have found this little place to triangulate our ideas. Let's go ahead and complete this article, and then look forward to some crazy stuff happening in dispatch from the patch 6, maybe, who knows. The article. And by the way, heads up, if we hear Boston in the background, we have to call Big John's Cali Indy Field Services program. In the meantime, let's complete this article while you enjoy the image of Boom U in the background. Here we go. And remember, the article was talking about how the United States is basically getting ready to surpass Russia, and things should shift considerably. I would say you should wrap it up this way. Probably in, 5 years or something, the United States will probably be the world's largest producer of energy and ego, because that will emerge. With energy comes ego. Trademark that. Here we go. The U.S. last year tapped more natural gas than Russia for the first time since 1982, according to data from the International Energy Agency. Russia's exports have been crimped by rising competition and the economic slump in Europe. Russia forecasts that its gas production will increase slightly in coming years, but its forecast for this year is below current U.S. production. Oh, shit. That, by the way, you can thank the Marcellus Shale for that, which is probably Chesapeake. The U.S. is also catching up in the race to pump crude. Russia, and there's going to be some incredible numbers, easy to follow, you can write down, and we'll use these in the Global Energy Rainbow. That's my pledge. This article is going to be integrated in the Global Energy Rainbow. News about Russia. Here we go. Russia produced an average of 10.8 million barrels of oil and related fuel a day in the first half of this year. That was about 900,000 barrels a day more than the U.S., but down from a gap of 3 million barrels a day a few years ago. The gap is shrinking betwixt Russian and United States crude production. Okay, I continue. That was me, by the way. That wasn't the article. That's going to be tough to follow, but we'll let the lawyers hash it out. I think the camera just fell a little. Let's move that back up there. Talk about a good shot of Boom U. Boom! At 3 minutes and 32 seconds past the hour here at K-Rig. Okay, the amount of crude from two of the hottest plays in the U.S., the Bakken oil field in North Dakota and the Eagle Ford Shale Formation in South Texas, continues to rise rapidly. So we're going to show you those right now, which is what's great about having this USA Energy map. And hey, who is that? Oh, that's Harold Ham. Hey, Mr. Ham, welcome to the show. There's Harold overlooking his army of the Bakken, and that is the Bakken region we discussed in an earlier episode. Harold Ham, of course, CEO of Continental Resources, located in Oklahoma City, formerly in Enid. Harold's got a great story. We hope to tell the whole Continental story someday on the Transparent Barrel. In the meantime, we are talking about this article, and it referenced the Bakken, so we want to bring you to the Bakken. See that right up there, North Dakota, it's just booming. That's in 3D, by the way. Hollywood would love that. Then you go down, and the other play they reference is the Eagle Ford. And that's the new one I was telling you about that's down there just above Houston. And it moves a lot of light, sweet crude up to Canada. And that's a different story altogether. But those are the two plays, the Eagle Ford and the Bakken. Hey, how happy is Harold? He is looking good. Great to have you on the show. Anyway, let's get back to the article, because now you know where the two plays are in the United States. By the way, hottest plays according to Wall Street Journal. That's a pretty good shot of Boom U, and we have Gordon Lightfoot in the background, so prepare yourself for the completion of this article. The amount of crude from two of the hottest plays in the U.S., the Bakken oil field in North Dakota and the Eagle Ford Shale Formation in South Texas, continues to rise rapidly, while Russian output has increased modestly over the past 3 years. Also, this is a good point to bring into this discussion about the energy game, the content arrival method. Since we're reading it, I'm mining newspapers for their information, basically their content, and then I'm just sort of spinning it into cotton candy and throwing it out there in the other sphere. But we should take into consideration, I'm simply reading an article, and that article is written in a fashion where those words and that language and the structure of that language will influence you and how you think, and sometimes you won't even know it. So those are lovely little lessons that you'll learn, and it's a great probably example of a bit of the gap between the brain and the mind that we're attempting to illuminate with the cooperative efforts of compassion and science. And maybe capitalism, probably so, who knows. Back to the article. Okay, and the reason I mention that about the linguistics is because I'm simply reading this language, and this language can guide your thoughts. Hottest plays in the U.S., modest production, blah, blah, blah. The Russian government predicts oil output will remain flat through 2016, while natural gas ticks up 3%. The shift has raised concerns in Moscow that U.S. crude supplies will crowd out Russia's oil exports. I'm quoting now the Tatiana Matrova. Tatiana, I believe it's Tatiana Matrova, and I bet that's a female, of the Russian Academy of Sciences Energy Research Institute, whoever the hell that is. She or he, they, someone says, Russia looks like the main loser in the global market. By the way, those indeed are the bells of Boom U. I know, it's unbelievable. Oh, shit. What time is it? They just hold for someone and you do not ask for who. Anyway, back to the article. You bastards. They're coming at you hard. Hey, play Thin Lizzy, the cowboy song, if you're going to put the bells on 24/7. Here we go. I quote, Russia looks like the main loser in the global market, said Tatiana Matrova of the Russian Academy of Sciences Energy Research Institute. Take that. More than 40% of Russia's budget comes from oil and gas related duties and taxes. She said, it is a she, we figured it out. Tatiana, beautiful name. Tatiana Matrova. The Institute has forecast that Russian oil exports, not production, exports. Remember, Russian oil production stays flat for the next 3 years. Exports could fall 25 to 30% after 2015, reducing the gross domestic product of Russia by more than $100 billion. Boy, that's a pretty big number. Billion here, billion there. Pretty soon it all adds up. Quote, I think that was Warren Buffett. Who knows? And not everyone in Russia sees a threat from the U.S. The head of one of the country's largest energy companies, AOA Gazprom, has called expanding U.S. shale output a bubble that will soon burst. Whoa, those are fighting words. So the Russian head of Gazprom, and by the way, we could do probably 6 episodes on the history of the head of Gazprom, because I can assure you he's probably placed there by Vladiput. But according to this individual, the head of one of the country's largest energy companies, AOA Gazprom, there it says it right there, has called expanding U.S. shale output a bubble that will soon burst. Wow, he could really swallow those words here pretty soon. Or maybe he's right. A similar view was expressed Tuesday by Abdallah Salim El-Badri, the head of OPEC, who said in an interview that the U.S. oil boom for shale will run out of steam by decade's end. Interesting. Maybe so. The game is on. Everyone can clearly see the players now. Russia feels very threatened. OPEC feels threatened. Both consider them, and I quote, to be, one, Gazprom, representing Russia, considers the U.S. shale output to be a, quote, a bubble that will soon burst. And another gentleman from the head of the OPEC said it will be a U.S. oil boom for shale will run out of steam by decade's end. He may be right. Who knows? Saudi Arabia, I'm back to the article, by the way. Saudi Arabia remains the world's largest supplier of shit. By the way, we're 10 minutes into this, and I got to wrap this up. Saudi Arabia remains the world's largest supplier of crude oil and related liquids. As of July, Saudi Arabia was pumping 11.7 million barrels a day, according to the IEA. Russia was second at 10.8 million barrels, while the U.S. was third at 10.3 million barrels. Each of the three pumps more than twice the daily output of such major producers as Canada, Venezuela, and Nigeria. We're now getting some really good, clean, easy numbers to start charting this global game. Even optimists, I had to shift position. I'm now switching hands. My right back is now twitching. I may have to sue someone. I could do it too. I know damn good lawyers. Even optimists in the U.S. concede that the shale boom's longevity could hinge on commodity prices, government regulations, and public support, the last of which could be problematic. A poll last month by the Pew Research Center for the People and the Press found that opposition to increased use of fracking rose to 49% from 38% in the previous 6 months. Okay, so now we know one way they're going to look at what appears to be a very important part of the success of the U.S. energy boom, which is quite simply government regulations and public support. According to this article, the public support is problematic because it seems to be eroding. There's a Pew Research Center for the People and the Press, whoever the hell that is and whatever they do, but they found that opposition to increased use of fracking rose to 49% from 38% in the previous 6 months. Other risk factors? A global economic contraction, would depress oil and gas prices, leading companies to slow production. That's absolutely right. And drilling in shale is expensive and more complex than conventional exploration, leading to concerns that a market downturn could take a large bite out of U.S. output. Absolutely. So the good news is they seem to have clearly laid out the risk factors associated with the U.S. energy boom, which would probably keep it as a boom and could unleash it into a renaissance if the risk factors are mitigated. Let's continue here. Wicked, you've got Gary Wright Dreamweaver. God dang it, we're at 12 minutes. This thing's never going to work. All right, I'm shutting it down now, and I'm not even doing this anymore. I've had it with this stupid 12-minute, 10-minute thing. See ya.